Welcome. Hello. Ooh. I hope everyone's doing okay today. Yeah, had a rough night, but So, there's no race today, so I can definitely do this. Probably the only time I'll be able to do this for a while. So, how is everyone? Sorry. Just, well, it was a interesting weekend, like usual. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad you're all doing good. Did you enjoy the race yesterday? I saw a lot of negative, let's say, comments about it, so I saw it. It was a little boring for my taste, but I don't think it was extremely awful, but it was fairly boring. I mean, it was just 400 laps of Hendrick leading everything, and not much passing. Wasn't the worst race in the world, but not great. And I mean, in general, it wasn't an extremely exciting weekend. I mean, the Xfinity race got exciting, but that's because of circumstance. Cautions, large for a pileup, Ty Gibbs dominating the race and then losing near the end. Yep. It was... Yeah, I actually fell asleep during the truck race. That's why it took me a little bit of time to post the clip of Byron winning. It was genuinely fairly boring. At least 2 to 3 races were not really good. Yeah. So what do I have to say about this race? Well, first off, there's a truck race. There were a couple Cup drivers racing, and it ended up being Byron who won. Yeah, there was also Kyle Busch in there. Johnny Sauter was the second, I think. Not a very exciting race overall. Not too much happened. I mean, some cautions, some early beef. The Xfinity race was where all the excitement was for the weekend. You're not a Byron fan? Yeah. Neither am I, but what can you do? Sorry, keep getting lost in my thoughts here. Yeah, there was a good bit of excitement during the Xfinity race. A lot of passing, some drama. There was a fight near the end. A lot of people hate Ty Gibbs, etc. Hey, Milton. Yeah. Well, I can see why you would be upset if all 3 of the drivers you like don't do well. I mean, personally, my driver was around 10th most of the race, maybe 15th. I think he finished like 7th. Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't great. So, in terms of Ty Gibbs, what do you people think? you think what he did was warranted? Personally, I didn't see anything that would warrant him coming up to a mayor and just attacking him. But, yeah, sorry, I just wanted to put the donation link in the chat. I know no one wants to donate, and I'm not asking anyone to. This is just if for some reason you want to. There's no reason you should spend money on me. So, only after what he did to John Hunter, really? I didn't really like him before. The only time I ever rooted for him was the first race where he ran. I think it was at the Daytona Road Course last year when he won. Because at the time it was like, I'm generally a Toyota fan, not really in the Cup Series, but typically root for Joe Gibbs or similar teams. But yeah, I rooted for I can't speak today. I'm sorry for Ty. He it was his first race, so there was no reason for me to hate him. I didn't really watch ARCA at the time, so. Yeah, but something tells me he's going to end up being, like, worse than Kyle Busch, even. Like, Kyle Busch back in his younger years. Like, very aggressive, very outspoken. Yeah. Well, it depends what you mean by sucks. If you mean in terms of his personality, then yeah, I gotta agree. In terms of his skill, I think he's still a pretty good driver. Way too aggressive and a little too aggressive, but still a good driver. Yeah, not taking your helmet off. That came up last year too with the Elliott and Harvick fight, except they didn't actually punch each other. I'm sorry, I keep stumbling over my words. I guess it was just a really bad night then. Yeah, aggressive to Nemechek. Well, that wasn't even that bad. He's done worse things, like with the whole Ryan Sieg situation. I mean, with John Hunter Nemechek, all he did was run him up the track. It wasn't like he spun him. He didn't do what Carl Edwards did to Kyle Busch at Richmond in 2016. He didn't shove him out of the way. It wasn't great. It was still very aggressive, but all he did was really just push him up the track. If you're a big Nemechek fan, then I can understand. That is exactly how I felt in 2016 with Kyle Busch. Except that was a little bit worse. With Harvick, yeah, I get it. They're both sides to the story. In this situation, you can't really side with Ty Gibbs on this because there is no side. He came up to Mayor, decided to fight for no reason over something minuscule. I guess it was $100,000, so that's something, but. And then he kept his helmet on and decided to throw some punches, which he landed too. So, not great. Not great. Oh, I'm a very boring person to listen to. Well, Moulton, there comes a time in every driver's career where they start to slow down. I mean, I'm pretty sure 75% of the Joe Gibbs team is at least past their prime at this point. Don't get me wrong, they're still good. But I mean, like Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, they're starting to go down a bit. They're not exactly the people they were 3-4 years ago, 2 years ago even. But I also wouldn't say panic yet. Because, Denny hasn't been all that good in Martinsville. And that's the same for other drivers as well. Like certain tracks they just don't do well at. Maybe, although Ty Gibbs was really the one who actually did most of the punching. Mayer was getting held back, so he didn't really have an opportunity to get a full swing at Ty. Plus the helmet, as you said, even though his eye protector was up. So, I mean, I guess he could have technically hit him in the face if necessary. Okay. Yeah. But with Cole Custer, I know you're very defensive of him. I think he's a great driver. He definitely had a great Xfinity Series career, but he shows flashes sometimes, like at Martinsville. It was his crew that did screw him over. But, I mean, he's not exactly a front runner for races usually. I mean, the one race he did win, it was kind of out of nowhere. And it was a very dramatic situation, too. But that was great. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, he hasn't really proven to me that he can compete with the higher level drivers yet. I mean, maybe once they leave, it will be him, but I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not a driver. I can't really speak on the situation too much. I'm just some random guy on YouTube. Yeah, it wasn't the most entertaining race. I mean, did anyone outside of Hendrick even lead a lap? I mean, I know Elliott led a lot of laps early on. Then he got passed by Byron, who basically led the rest of the race. But yeah, 4 wins in 2020. Yeah, he's a good road course racer. He's also pretty good in other tracks too. It's just road course racing is where he is the top out of this game. Yeah, I want to see Kurt Busch do better. 2311 Racing hasn't done great. I mean, it's been so bad that Hamlin clearly seems upset about his team's performance. And Bubba Wallace is clearly not cutting it, even though he has the team's only win. But that was a whole different thing. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll get better. Maybe they'll stay the same. Maybe they won't do anything. Maybe. There's a lot of maybes. I don't think it's the 41 car specifically. I think it's just the whole team. I mean, for example, the 10 car with Eric and Danica. I mean, Eric has won a couple times, but they were all individual circumstances. But I mean, Danica Patrick could do nothing. She was a mid-pack driver in it, except for the first race. And Eric hasn't done great in the 10 either. And I mean, Kevin Harvick had that great, was it 2020 season? Yeah, where he won a lot of times, but generally the team hasn't been that good. And in the 14, I mean, Chase Briscoe is a good driver, and he has shown some flashes and such, but the entire team has definitely taken a hit. And they were never extremely good. I mean, they had like one or two drivers that were always good, but the others weren't amazing. I mean, Clint Boyer did some stuff when he was in the 14. Kevin Harvick obviously has a long history in the 4. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about Bubba Wallace. Maybe he'll do good in his career. He's still very young. Well, not very. He's still fairly young. He has a good bit of career ahead of him, provided nothing happens. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a new team, but it's been over a year now. So I don't know. I don't know. I got to speak with a deeper voice. This is ridiculous. It sounds almost nasally. Well, what else did I miss? What else happened during the week? I'm not sure. Yeah, Stewart-Haas in general hasn't done great, generally. It's just been usually one car that's done well, overshadowing the other three, hiding their mistakes, their performances, and all that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're on the decline. Maybe it's just the drivers. Yeah, Brad, I don't know. His whole team is just, well, they've been Roush. They've been post Matt Kenseth, Roush, Fenway, Keselowski Racing. It's just not good. Maybe they'll improve. It's a new-ish team. Not really, but maybe it's the effects of the next gen car. It's a new car, so it's supposedly more equal. So maybe it's showing which drivers are actually good that didn't have as much of an advantage in terms of cars. Because, there's only so much you can do with the car now. Money's still a factor, but not as much. I guess it's just showing the true performances. Whew. Also, by the way, I forgot to mention this. I want to thank whoever Artichoke Man is for the single $1 he donated last night. I'm not sure who you are. I don't think I've ever seen you. Maybe it's just a different name you use, but thank you. And you'll probably be on this screen for another 2 years at least, because no one's going to want to give this guy money. And I don't need it. Yeah, they did do well. I'm not saying they did awfully, but it's a short track. Generally, smaller teams can do better on shorter tracks. I mean, if you look all the way back to 2016, when Matt DiBenedetto was in the 83, he got a 6th place finish at Bristol. And he was driving for a team that was basically a back runner. No, don't donate to me. There's no necessary reason. If you need approval, I don't think you should. Only donate if you actually have the money, and it's not going to do too much difference. It's better to keep your money and save it for something more important. Yeah, I'm not exactly at a stage of a YouTube career where I won't read a comment unless it's money-based, and that's stupid. So feel free to keep all your money. I'm not trying to beg for any money. Sorry, I am completely off track. What else? Did I forget? Yeah. Dylan, he might win something. Maybe at a super speedway. Why can't I speak? A super speedway. Hey, caution. How far are you from 70 subs? I don't know. I don't really collect diecasts. I mean, I have two, and some old ones as well, but I don't really collect diecasts. $17 subs away from 70? Then why is it road to 60 subs then? I'm sure you'll get there. The problem is it's an oversaturated market. There's a lot of parody series, whether it's diecasts, NR 2003, other NASCAR game, go ahead and support Caution. It's nice to support within the community. I have a lot of subscriptions for people I don't even remember, just because they said one thing or another, or just because they even had a public subscription. I really got to go through my subs and see what I'm subbed to. I'm not even sure. And they're all public, too. Pretty sure I'm subbed to some channels that I definitely don't want to continue watching. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do. The tree was... That was the 500, right? Yeah, I think that was... Yeah. Super speedways are a different story. I mean, Bubba Wallace is pretty good at super speedways. He finished second in the Daytona 500 in his first race, I think. Yeah. In his first race in his Cup Series career, he finished second. It was 2018. Or maybe it was the first race of his full-time career in the Cup Series. But yeah, he finished second that year. It was 2018, right? Like I already said, Austin Dillon won that race. Denny Hamlin actually was smashing Bubba Wallace into the wall. And ironically, they're now driver and owner. So that must be a bit awkward. Or must have been. Probably they got over it within a year or so. Hey, Kurt Busch, he's doing well. I mean, he didn't do great this year compared to some of his similarly skilled peers, but he definitely has the potential. He will win at least one race this year. He seems to win every year, at least once. Awkward silence again. Yeah. I can't wait till the NFL season. This will be much easier to do. I know most of you aren't NFL fans, and you don't have to watch if you don't want to. I'm just hoping to drive in some new audience and be able to do something I love as well. And it's definitely much easier than just awkwardly sitting here and talking. Yeah, Kurt Busch is definitely near the end of his career. He hasn't exactly been in his prime for a long while. I mean, even when he was with Stewart Haas, he wasn't really in his prime, even though he did some good things. You don't know if you can watch Bristol Dirt. Is it like a network issue, or is it because you are busy? Is it going to be a Sunday evening? Let's take a look here. Oh, you're going somewhere for Easter. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, feel free to enjoy yourselves. There will be plenty of other races to go. 7:30 on Sunday? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. My family was never really into sports outside of like tennis, and that was just my dad. So I basically grew up watching sports all by myself, even though occasionally my dad would come in just to spend time, but they would never really liked watching. Let's see here. Sorry. My screen isn't freezing up, is it? Just making sure. Why am I blinking a lot? Interesting. Oh, my favorite NASCAR track? Bristol, definitely. Paved Bristol, specifically. Yeah. I always liked the short track feel, plus it's my favorite driver's best track. I especially like the night races and all. It feels like the only exciting short track to me. Like Martinsville, it doesn't really feel exciting. There's basically like one line. In order to pass someone, you have to do it over a number of laps. But Bristol is just fun. Well, I mean, there's no way to know that a race will be bad ahead of time. I mean, you go into every race hoping it will be good. Same with any other sport. Typically, you root for your favorite people or teams, depending on the sport. So, yeah, and when they don't do well, you definitely feel like it was just awful. I've had many days like that, especially considering I only had like one person I root for generally. So, the moment they do bad, it kind of just brings down the whole race. Usually, I just continue watching for the excitement, but that's a different thing. It's a little bit easier to watch generally when you don't have a driver to root for, but it also feels more boring because there's no stakes. You just watch. Yeah, Daytona is a good track. Good track. Oh, and road courses, Chase or AJ. I would have to say Chase. I mean, AJ raced in the series for a long number of years, and I think he only has like 2 wins. I mean, he has done good recently in terms of performances, but he only has 2 career wins compared to Chase Elliott's wins. And on road courses alone, Chase Elliott has more wins than AJ. So, yeah, I would say Chase, even though they're both pretty good. The Bristol night race is always exciting, yeah. I just hope that the actual paved race isn't a day race because they're making the dirt race a night race. Ruined, I don't know. I never liked Martinsville. Like, I never really understood the appeal. I got the bump and run was exciting, but I mean, I never really liked it. Even when I saw the exciting races like in 2017 and all that, it just feels like the cars are always so close to each other and then they never do anything. I mean, there's definitely been some exciting moments, but I definitely prefer like Bristol over Martinsville and Richmond. They just, I don't know. I'll be ending it very shortly, so if you have something else to say, please say it now. Okay, just looking through here. Are you watching a race replay? Oh, your parents are at a rodeo. Interesting. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself doing the race replay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. It used to be skill based. Well, I mean, it really depends. What do you mean by skill-based? Because obviously every single race has skill in it. Moulton is the type of person to write out paragraphs about his feelings. Or their feelings, rather. Sorry. So, yeah. Some people are like that. I mean, yesterday wasn't the most exciting race. It was fairly boring, but I don't know. It kind of just seemed like Martinsville to me. Maybe the drivers were slightly less aggressive, but no, it's fine. No one else is really saying anything. Feel free to say whatever you want within a certain boundary, as you know. Yeah, I always like Kyle Busch's schemes. You know, they're always candy based, so they can have a lot of potential. And Kevin is Kevin. He has a lot of sponsors, so he gets a lot of different schemes. Just trying to load here. Nothing. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Well, FedEx always sponsors Denny, you mean? Yeah. When was the last time he raced? Actually, last night he didn't even race for under FedEx. It was like Sports Clips, right? Yeah, I think it was a Sports Clips scheme. I keep getting tongue twisted. I'm sorry for my bad talking. It's always FedEx, so it's always boring. They usually come up with one scheme for the year, maybe have an alternate for a special thing, but yeah. It's usually just FedEx or Sports Clips. He ran Sports Clips a couple of times before, too. I know, like, Kyle has Mars, and, you know, they own a lot of brands, so I mean, he can, just based off of Mars, he can have M&M's, Skittles, Pedigree, Snickers, other companies like Ethel M or whatever. Don't talk about Sports Clips? Okay. I mean, that's what he drove last night. Okay, but yeah, and then he also has Interstate Batteries and yeah, his own company that he always sponsors on his helmet, and Smalley on the side of the car. The GoPro Chastain scheme, yeah, that's great. Personally, I liked Kurt Busch's scheme last night. I like the sleek blend of the two sponsors. I mean, it's not the first time two sponsors have been together, but I like the color. Oh, sorry. If you have something else to do at the moment, feel free to do so. I know I said this would be about 30 minutes, but I still feel like talking, so I might as well go a little bit further. You don't have to continue watching. Okay. Well, I'll be sure to check out your race then. Yeah, that's an interesting scheme. I'll give myself maybe 5 more minutes to talk, and I'll release you from your bondage here. Yeah, this format is not working. I definitely gotta... I'm not the most interesting person in the world, so no one wants to hear me talk without some substance. I'll find something. I'll find something to do. I'll find something to do. Cody Ware will never win? Yeah, probably not. Anything's possible, though. I mean, Justin Haley won in the 77. You know how easily it is to accidentally find yourself in a situation where unforeseen circumstances can help you win. I mean, with like Chris Buescher in Front Row Motorsports, he stayed out at Pocono and ended up winning just because of rain and fog and all that. And Haley won because of lightning and rain. It's not too out of the realm of possibility, especially like on the super speedway. Honestly, I kind of disagree with that. Haley was doing well, but he wasn't leading. It probably would have still been Kyle Busch or Joey Logano, regardless of Justin Haley. I mean, Haley started up front because he won one of the heat races. Oh, 6 consecutive top 5. Wow. I'm sure he can be a championship contender. It's way too early in the season to say that about anyone. I mean, we have the established people, but no one's a championship contender right now outside of like William Byron. He's the only one who's won multiple times. But Chastain definitely will, well, not definitely, he will most likely make the playoffs. Probably go some distance. At least top, yeah, of course. I mean, there were only like 20 cars, and he was in the top 5, and that track was pretty hard to pass at. So it definitely would have been a top 5 at least. He was, I think, 3rd or 4th at the time of the crash, where he'd been all day. So, yeah. Well, this is the 2-minute warning. I'll just say that. I don't want to keep you for too long. I really got to work on the NASCAR animated. I haven't had any time to do so at all. I still need to make some cars. I still need to record voices. All I have is a story and a couple of cars. Yeah, clearly you're not a Larson fan. Wouldn't be speaking ill of Kyle Larson otherwise. Ooh, man. I would imagine a lot of people aren't Kyle Larson fans. And there's also a lot of people who are. People tend to move towards the most dominant driver. Guess it's called bandwagoning. Same in most sports, actually. Well, then, doesn't look like anything else is going to happen. I did a poor recap of the races. I definitely didn't write this out. Yeah, Byron's the only repeat winner this year. Yeah, I'm definitely going to root for Chastain if Kyle Busch hits the gutter. I like his story. I remember seeing him drive for unsponsored teams and all that. Do I watch baseball? Yes. Yes, I sadly do. That's how I torture myself every year. I decide to watch baseball. Orioles never give me a break. Never. And this year's included. They've already lost twice and probably will lose again. Yeah. It's because of their poor performances. I'm only a casual fan. So, anything else final to say? Oh man, yeah, I think the Orioles are about to go 0-3. They are losing by 8 in the 8th inning too. Yeah, man. Honestly, I'm not. Kyle Busch has had years where he's been good in lower series, but one or two drivers are always slightly better. I think I remember that one year where he only won like once in trucks, or even maybe twice, because he always like finished second or had pit issues. He basically retired. I mean, unless he's asked to race, he's probably never going to race an Xfinity Series again. Hey, you're talking about Denny Hamlin. Some of the other Toyota drivers haven't been doing nearly as inconsistently bad. Yeah, Kyle Busch kind of retired. He said he would retire once he got to 100 wins, and he has 102. So he's not going to race from Xfinity Series any longer. Why? Because like 5-6 years ago, he was winning so many times a year back before they had the limits for drivers on how many races they could race. So he said once he hits 100, he'll just stop Xfinity. I mean, he was already the all-time leader in wins. There was no sense for him to keep leeching, as people say. He got to 102. Now he's done. Because he's... Yeah. Honestly, I don't think it's the booze. I mean, obviously he's hated, but he was hated before it was a problem because of leeching and all that. He was hated for some of the aggressive things he did, how much he complained. People just hate him now because of a problem they have where they don't like upper series drivers racing in lower series. They had one. I mean, Kyle Busch Motorsports is basically JGR's truck team. Like, JGR used to race in the truck series, and Kyle basically bought them out, so they operate through KBM now. Because he's Daniel Hemrick. I mean, he won once. He had an okay late model racing career. He won a championship. But, yeah. I sound very nasally today. I'm sorry. I'll probably be ending the stream in a minute. I'm definitely going way over what I already said. Okay, then. Well, thank you for watching. I'm sorry for being so boring of a person. I am. I admit it. I'm boring to myself. Thank you for watching. I'll be ending the stream in a couple seconds. And the final word is... Oh, why did... Cinders? Who's Cinders? Sendike? Cindric, I got it. Okay. He didn't retire. I mean, he's in the Cup Series now, that's why. Usually drivers, they don't race in the lower series for the first couple of years of their Cup Series career. And Cindric is in the number 2 now in the Cup Series. So he's just going to race there. I mean, he already won. He won in his first career race. I mean, there's no reason for him to be in Xfinity. He won the Daytona 500 before Kyle Busch did. And he's only raced once. No, twice, actually. Sorry. Cindric ran last year. I forgot. In 33. Man. Weird. Okay, well, I'm not going to end the stream until everyone makes sure they have nothing else to say. And Cindric, I mean, yeah, he's a rookie. No one expects rookies to be champions. I mean, like, people like Elliott, people like Blaney, all of them did not great. I mean, look at Elliott. It took him, like, 3 years of full-time racing to get his first win. And even then it was at Watkins Glen, which is, well, his forte. Hey, I was upset, too, because, you know, I'm a Kyle Busch fan. I really wanted him to win in his last 500 with Mars Incorporated and M&Ms and all that. Would have been cool, but hey, you accept it. Over the years, NASCAR has broken me down, so at this point, I don't tend to get over emotional about anything in NASCAR. Football, sure, yeah, I still have a lot of problems with that. I generally like football a bit more. But, you know, Brad wrecked everyone, yeah. He is a bowling ball. Or a bulldozer. He caused the flip. He did all the stuff. Brad the Destructor. Yep. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay. So, whoever you three people are, I'm assuming 2 of you are Cade and Caution, but thanks for watching. And Molten, right? I forgot about Molten. No, Michael McDowell. You don't compare Austin Cindric and Michael McDowell. I mean, McDowell has been racing for longer than even, like, Kyle Busch. McDowell was always okay at super speedways. He just never was in a position to win. He won once. And it was great. But yeah, I don't think anyone overhyped him. He had several other races where he did okay, but he was never great. No one expected him to even, like, get out of the round of 16 when he did win. Of course, I don't think he was overhyped. I think it was just people were excited. For Cindric, I think it was a bit overhyped because, you know, it is a super speedway. Yeah, he did. I mean, he turned whoever it was, like, it was one of the 2 Penske drivers. He turned one of them, and as a result, the other got turned. So McDowell won after causing a crash. Yeah, it happened, I guess. I don't know if it was intentional, but I don't think it was, but I don't know. Well, I don't think so. I've watched that replay like 30 times at this point because I had to do it so many times for all the compilations I did last year. I do remember them yelling hard hit Kyle Busch, or I think it was Mike Joy or Clint Boyer, one of the two. I remember that. So they definitely were concerned about the crash. The camera was stuck on the crash. They didn't focus on the other drivers. They only cut away to them crossing the line. But I don't know. Oh, it was Brad? Yeah. So McDowell turned Brad, and then Brad, by proxy, turned Logano. and they both spun in different directions. One of them slams into the wall, the other into the infield. That's modern day safety. No one got hurt. I mean, Dale Earnhardt had his unfortunate accident in a wreck that nowadays would be looked as nothing. I mean, nowadays you can have people flip into the fence, get their car shredded, with only leaving the car in the roll cage, and they still fine. They're not even injured. It's just modern day safety. They wear fire suits. I mean, it was scary. They hit the wall and the fence too. I think Gazowski hit the fence. Yeah. But they wear fire suits. They have all the safety. They're almost wearing like firefighter level suits at this point. Yeah, I remember Dylan. Snyder, Dylan, all that. On the many flips and turns. Honestly, Dale Earnhardt's crash was tragic, but it definitely improved the league considerably in terms of safety. The precautions that were set because of that. It's just tragic the way it had to happen. But now, yeah, no one got hurt. It's honestly amazing. Yeah. Think of Jimmy Johnson. He won, 7 championships? Had already won 83 times? And then he doesn't win for 3 years. 3 years. I mean, he was the most winningest driver of his time. And somehow he doesn't win for the last 3 years of his career. I think the only thing he won was the Busch Clash that he won because of rain. I don't think it was the Busch Clash. It was just a Clash. Advanced Auto Parts Clash or whatever it was called. Yeah, I remember Trevor Bayne. Cinderella Bayne. Didn't see that in person. Or live. I mean, I put out a win compilation for him. He has a good amount of wins. Hey, anyone can win on the dirt track. I mean, last year, the two favorites to win, Larson and Bell, they took each other out. So, I don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. This recap just turned into another hangout stream, and I'm fine with that. I prefer the weekends for that. More people decide to watch. And I really enjoy interacting with others. I'm not sure if you were here during the hangout. I did say I would... never mind. That's not important right now. Yeah, I remember Stenhouse. If it wasn't for Logano, he would have won. That would have been interesting. I don't know. The entirety of SHR hasn't done well in several years. I mean, like, Eric has been the only one who's won anything, and he's retiring. The only one who has won anything in the last 2 years. No. Wow, Eric Almirola retiring. Man. I feel like I'm getting old and I'm only a teenager. Kind of a teenager. Oh, man. I still remember the days of Brian Scott. Man. Danica Patrick. Darrell Waltrip. Yeah, also, Darrell Waltrip will be commentating during the Bristol race. So that's great. He was a great commentator. Yeah. Yeah, this mint is strong. Man. Yeah, my mouth is frozen. Okay. Well, we've almost reached an hour, and I said I would be here for 30 minutes, so I'm ready for Talladega too. What race is next? Is it Bristol next? Yeah, Bristol's next. Next Sunday. When's Talladega? Oh, it's a week after. Okay. Honestly, I can't wait for the night race for Bristol Dirt. It'll look new. Cup Series hasn't done a night dirt race in decades, if ever. Oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Oh man. What kind of mint is this? I took the label off. Oh, there it is. Yeah, wintergreen. I never should chew on that mint again, then. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's because they didn't design a model for the Xfinity cars to race on dirt. I mean, the Truck Series has been racing on dirt for a number of years, and they're the still nasal. They're the series that also races on Bristol Dirt at the same time as the Cup Series. I guess they just didn't design a car for dirt racing for Xfinity. It might be for the best too. Well, since I first said 30 minutes, then 45, I'll just wait till the hour mark and then we'll end it there. I am really regretting chewing that mint. It's still lingering in my mouth. Ooh, that is disgusting. Well, I can't even talk anymore. I'm just gonna put it up. Ooh, yeah. Well, Molten, I'm gonna say this, and it's not meant to offend you, but you're a person who seems to jump to conclusions very fast. Like, for example, when you're watching qualifying, you see one driver do well, and then you suddenly declare that they are amazing, underrated, and all that. And maybe they are, but Stenhouse was never legendary, never amazing, never great. He's a super speedway driver. He has 2 career wins, and both of them are in 2017 on super speedways. That's where he's meant to do good. He's never done well at intermediate tracks, all that. I mean, he has some wins in the Xfinity Series, but... No, I'm thinking of Trevor Bayne. No, I mean, he does too. Yeah, well... Yeah, like I said, he's good at super speedways. That's just him. Oh, really? He won 2 championships, man. Didn't realize that. I think you mean Blaney. Yeah. Yeah. Autocorrect. Is it really concerning? I mean, many drivers who do really well in the Xfinity Series don't translate to the Cup. It's the same with, like, what's an example? Like football. You can be amazing in college, just amazing. And then you go to the professional leagues and just, you can never get done. It's like for Justin Allgaier. He raced in Cup for a number of years, but he's clearly much better in Xfinity. Maybe. I mean, right now he clearly wants to be an IndyCar driver, and I respect him for that. I don't know. Maybe he'll come back for a Daytona 500 once. Or, there we go. I'm sorry. I don't know. He also has 2 championships. Maybe he'll win in a couple of years. Maybe he'll win this year. I don't know. He's been in contention for some wins. He's been close. He hasn't really. Okay. That freaked me out. I'll be right back. Actually, you know what? I'll probably end the stream right now. It's past the hour mark, but so final remarks. Yeah. Portland, interesting. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they will. And yeah. Maybe Stenhouse will perform better. Maybe he won't. It's all business. It's all racing. I'm not going to show this, but the room I'm in is unbelievably messy. The camera doesn't show it, but it's just unbelievably messy. So, yeah. I'm sitting in what's basically a storage room at this point. Yeah. I do want to see Reddick win a race. I gotta agree with that. I don't know. Maybe you think he'll finish in 30th or worse in points somehow? That's the only way you can win a race and somehow still not make the playoffs in this format. It was just a mistake, obviously. Also, it could be possible that more than 16 drivers win and he's just on a lower part of the standings. So, I mean, you're not technically incorrect by predicting he'll win and still not make the playoffs, even if it's just a mistake. Oh, they go on there this year? Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay. Well, any final remarks I will answer in the chat. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, Gateway. Yeah. That'll be my local track when I move. It's in Missouri. Of course, it's a completely other part of Missouri, but still. Okay. Guess I'm never going to end this. Okay. Well, Molten, see you, Cade. Have a good day. You're welcome to leave right now. I might end the stream in ever. I don't know. Well, Molten, like I said, like I compared to football, certain people are better in lower series, and they just don't translate to Cup because it's a completely different thing. The cars are different. The skill level is different. The intensity is different. Sometimes even the tracks are different. The speed is different. The tires are different. I don't know about the tires, but the experience is different. All of that it's different. It's worse. Have a good day, Cade. Enjoy yourself on this lovely Sunday. It's certain drivers. I don't know what to say. I guess it's like the same with trucks too, because they're also a different vehicle. Just like dirt racing doesn't translate to road racing. And see you, Milton. Have a good day. Yeah, Custer, he did good at Martinsville. He might be one of those drivers who shows flashes at times. Well, since I definitely have people leaving, and I really wanted to end the stream 40 minutes ago, almost 35 minutes ago. Thank you for watching. I'll be going. Any more questions you have or statements I can answer in the chat while it still exists for another 5 to 10 minutes. Have a good day.